Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 My Team Career, episode number 17 today for the Chinese Grand Prix of Season 2. If you missed the opening round of the season at Bahrain uploaded last week, then recommend go and check them out. And subscribe if the channel for you see plenty more My Team videos for this second and possibly final season. But yes, we've got a dilemma. We've been running through Science Sim data and they appear to be cutting it fine when it comes to their fuel map. We don't want this to occur in an actual race, and how should we approach this? Now, we had the option to approach a driver, but that option wouldn't let me approach him, so we had to just ignore. In terms of events, short time between Bahrain and China, even though we don't actually have an official date for China because it's not on the calendar, but it is available in my team, so we will be racing around China it's actually my first full race around China for about 2 years, so yes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a little bit rusty because I haven't done that much. I do have a setup for it, but I don't actually know if that's great. I haven't done that many laps around China on F1 2021. In terms of R&D, we're looking at some upgrades. We've got almost 3,000 resource points. We're quite a little bit low down on power, thanks to Ferrari and their new dreadful power units that they've got in power. So we're going to look at that. I'll potentially put this fuel efficiency upgrade. It's only a minor one, but it might help us a little bit if we get to have another Brazil driver career mode moment where I'm running low on the fuel and I can't do anything about it. And of course, it's just in our price range, but a major rear downforce upgrade as well. So all of that hopefully will come in time for next week's episode of Monaco. But obviously no upgrades for us. Hasn't been able to catch us up. So that's a little bit annoying that we're plateauing out. Now we need to start getting the upgrades in time, especially Monaco, Azerbaijan, Canada. Those races are going to start to fly past here, and as soon as it comes out, we'll be effectively at Italy basically, because the rush through the calendar is the scenario. But moving to qualifying then for China, we'll see what we can do. The hopes aren't great. I was never that great around China in the first place, so my hopes for getting anything other than any good result in qualifying is, well, to be expected. P20 in an Alfa Romeo sandwich with George Russell, of course, who's recently got a promotion to Mercedes in real life, is only in 18th place. But bear in mind, of course, the Williams is a lot faster in real life than in the F1 game. But yes, qualifying one, we had to do a second run again on another set of tyres. This is just usual. We've got a Mercedes and Alfa Romeo squabbling up in front. It's qualifying. I think one of them is even on their cool down laps as well. So I don't really get why they're trying to really squabble over position. It's just the time as checker flag has gone already, and the Alfa Romeo pulls over actually. I think there's a car going slowly as the Mercedes now does get out of the way. Hopefully gets a penalty for slowing me up. But yes, 2.5 tenths up almost. It would have been a lot more had the Alfa Romeo and Mercedes not been on our way. So we do nonetheless get in P16, although quite a little bit away off Sainz. So we'll see if we can get close to Sainz in Q2 when we don't have traffic in the way, blocking us up on their cool down laps as well. So very lucky, actually, only 17 thousandths of a second into Q2. Which we've had closer, to be fair, in this series, because I think we were 2 thousandths or something ridiculous at Austria in season 1 getting into Q3. But anyway, I did a first lap on a strop set of tyres, so the second set is on a brand new fresher tyres, and we've made up almost a second, and actually it's going to be over a second on our previous best time, but I think it's only enough for P16. Schumacher had a penalty. I think that's for contact on some cool down lap that I didn't see. So 2 tenths lower than Sainz. There's a lot of work to do if we want a result at China. It's no time though for the race, today's Chinese Grand Prix.
It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai. Northwest of this thriving city of over 24 million people is a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. And of course played host to Formula One's 1000th World Championship event in 2019. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3 mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas and Perez, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Stroll, Vettel, Yuki Tsunoda and Sainz, Mick Schumacher. They've taken a grid penalty. The owner driver, Nicholas Latifi and Nikita Mazepin, Russell, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi and Luca Giotto. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
I don't know about that, we'll see. We're going to try an ambitious strategy and see if we can get in the points. It would be nice if Science could do it. Now, our alternative strategy, our ambitious strategy, is doing a one stop from mediums to softs. I don't know if anybody else is going to be doing it. I expect a lot of people one stopping will go from medium to hards. That's just the way the AI like to do, but we're going to try it and see how we get on. We got Schumacher down in 15th alongside after his penalty. His private lights are out and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's a good start. Better than, I think that's Tsunoda, who's had a terrible start there. He's lost a couple of places, tries to go around the outside, and then we force him to brake, and we go around the outside of literally 4 or 5 cars there now. We'll try and down the inside of Vettel, but Vettel cuts us off. Sainz tries to come around the outside. We try and not understeer so much and allow Sainz to get a good run as well. We need him to start performing if we want to be able to fighting in the Constructors' Championship. Dart down the inside of Sebastian Vettel, move up into P11. So yes, it's important to get ahead of Vettel as Sainz loses out to Stroll, unfortunately. But we jump ahead now to lap number 2. We're already slow as we understeer through turn 1 is, well, horrific. And Vettel does have a little go at us, but we put our foot in and again manage to survive and stay in P11. But now Schumacher is now ahead of Vettel, and he's having to go with DRS on lap number 3. We're going to dive down the inside, try and slow him up a little bit through the exit as well, by going a little bit deep, making sure we cover him off there. And Vettel and Schumacher keep swapping positions. Vettel, though, with an audacious move, tried to go down the inside the final corner, and I was already turning into the corner. I'm surely he's got front wing damage from that. So he tries this, and then just look, there's no way he's making that corner alongside me. Just not going to give him any room there. As we're watching Raikkonen against Ricciardo. Ricciardo made his pit stop. Raikkonen started on the hards, and Raikkonen has made contact with Ricciardo, but Raikkonen does survive. And we got back to our POV. We're now battling Lance Stroll, the other Aston Martin. Vettel has fallen behind. I suspect he's still got more front wing damage. We're going to dart back down the inside of Stroll, and again doing what we did to his teammate Schumacher. Ocon is the lead runner on medium tyres, and he takes the lead. And Ocon is just rolling into the sunset for some very good points here. But we'll see if he can survive on those, what I think were probably hard tyres. As Stroll has another go before that. That's just going to play in the hands of Vettel. Sainz is P5, but it's been stuck behind Vettel for so many laps now. Even Vettel's just held him up, and Ricciardo here is just fed up with all of them. He's just not sitting there. A lock up from Ricciardo there, but he goes around the outside of both Vettel and he's also got Sainz as well. So Norris is not too far behind Ricciardo and Norris, and McLaren's looked in control here on the 2-stop. But we'll see if there's any 1-stoppers, some softer hards. That's going to be the interesting one. As we've got this, as Ricciardo eventually does go past with DRS, I'm not really going to hold him up too much. I've got this little challenge, complete my saviour. That's what you get if you use a mid-session save, which I had to do because I recorded this either side of the Dutch Grand Prix basically. So I needed to save to make sure that I didn't lose any progress, and as a result it came up with that challenge and just stuck there for the end of the race for some reason. As we're watching Antonio Giovinazzi, possibly could be his final season in real life, retiring from the Chinese Grand Prix. But yes, we're letting Norris go by as well. I really want the DRS as well from Norris to try and pull us along here. Bottas is on hard tyres, so he's going to the end of the race potentially, Bottas. Or doing some weird strategy, I'm not entirely sure. Hamilton, I presume, might be probably doing the same. Bottas eventually comes by. We're going to try and let him pass at the final corner, but he doesn't go past completely. Again, I'm just trying to let him go past so then we can get the DRS and try and push on. So it's not really affecting our event or race. And you can see here Ocon now, who's been in the pits already, is now coming past us with DRS, and already the train as well. We're going to try and go around the outside of Ocon, which is actually going to work slightly. We're going to pinch him to the outside of the corner for the final corner and take the optimal line through the corner. And in actual fact, we jump to the onboard of Alonso on the next lap, and Alonso tries to dive down the inside, narrowly misses us, and then there's contact with Hamilton, who's on the 1-stop, and Hamilton has to pit for damage. So yes, we jumped to lap 19 though. Ocon has come back at us after he's been overtaken by Alonso's pit again. Ricciardo has also pit again. Ricciardo in control, but Ricciardo will have to chase after Bottas really. We're coming in now at the end of lap number 19, so we've done quite a lot of laps on these medium tyres, and they've actually done okay in terms of where Lando Norris though sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Again, I don't really have the pace to be doing a 2-stop around here, so we're just trying to see if we can get in the points. We did lead for quite a lot, for a bit of. We didn't lead. Excuse me. We're in second place for quite a bit of time. Stroll goes for in 9th place, and there's Vettel and Gasly might be the problem, and Gasly's actually got past Vettel on those hard tyres, which might be a bit more worn if Vettel made an earlier stop, I think, to counteract that front wing damage. So yes, we're up to Lance Stroll. He's on aged tyres, so this should be an absolute. He's just a sitting duck for our softs out of the final corner, and it's an easy overtake, and we move up into P9. But Alonso is quite a long ways. We're watching Nicholas Latifi now in the Haas, and he is out of the race as well with an engine failure. So 2 Ferrari customer teams there with engine failures, so hopefully we don't get any. But again, Sainz hasn't been doing a lot, as Gasly is coming around the outside of Stroll with DRS on the medium. So Gasly doing a 2-stop, and he's come around the outside of Stroll and moves up into P10, but Hamilton has now moved ahead of Gasly, and there's contact with Hamilton on the S's again. Understeer. This is another corner that was horrific for understeer. Tyre wear increasing 49% on the final corner, and as a result Hamilton has, aggressive move from Hamilton, and he's lost part of his front wing, and now he's going to be a sitting duck. Leclerc trying to make a move on the outside of Vettel there. Vettel going backwards on his aging hard tyres, and Gasly's now taken the rest of Hamilton doesn't have a front wing at all now, because Gasly's destroyed the front wing as we cross the line For P9, yeah, it could have been better, but I mean, we'll take it. It's more points on the board. Mick Schumacher did an incredible job. He had so much pace in the end. And P15, as I say, the soft to hard strategy really was the winner today. I tried the medium to hard strategy and it didn't. Sorry, the medium to soft strategy, excuse me, didn't really work for me, but they had so much pace in the early advantage and just able to undercut, even though they were slower in the end. Alonso did get him in the end, and they did have fresher tyres, but Bottas, you can see at 8.5 seconds out in front, that's the effect I had, slowing everybody up. Vettel also slowing everybody up. Sainz could have done better, P15. So he actually lost positions, so yeah, in the end, Sainz needs to get used to this car quicker, otherwise he's going to be faced with the exit door potentially by the time we get to the mid part of the season. We'll see if we maybe sign another driver as well. Yes, all of that is to come, but we're down to P4 in the championship now, as to be expected. Ocon up to P3, Ricciardo leads 1 point to Bottas, those two being super consistent, and Lewis Hamilton doesn't even have any points so far, so yes, that's why McLaren are top. We're down to 6th place, but if I'll be happy challenging AlphaTauri. Ferrari have 5 points, so we are the lead Ferrari power team, so yes, we'll see where we can. Obviously, we're going to keep upgrading this car. We've actually got a bit of the gap now between now and Monaco, the next race. So we've got 1,800 resource points to spend as well. So we will now be looking to spend literally all of those resource points on upgrades, and we've got all those other upgrades as well that we purchased in this episode that should be coming in time for Monaco as well. So hopefully at that point we'll be a lot closer to the top of the midfield, as opposed to being near the bottom of the field, and that way we'll be able to hopefully get a good result in Monaco. But yes, if you have then enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more episodes of the F1 2021 My Team Career as and when it comes out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.
Thank you.